few years ago, our church received this huge anonymous donation. And at that time, I was really thinking, wow, this is amazing. Perhaps this is how we finally get a church building of our own. And at the same time, as I was thinking this, I remember just hearing in my mind over and over that we had envisioned being a church that would be missional. This means that we would be a church that is sent out. We would be a church that would be actively engaged in the community in some meaningful ways. And over time, what really began to form in my heart and my mind is that as a church, as a community, we would become a creative hub for missional church plants and for missional projects and nonprofits. What if we became a church where we would encourage, where we would resource, where we would train church planters and missional leaders to go into the world and show them fresh ways of being the church? I know that in the last year, as we've talked about launching this missional nonprofit, you guys have come up with some amazing ideas. Some of the things that get me excited is anything that has to do with dessert. So you guys thought about a dessert cafe, you guys were thinking of bubble tea. One of our elders even suggested, why not a microbrew? And so I said, well, maybe we'll get to that in the future. But what really excites me is, well, what if we were to launch a daycare, right? Where we would meet some of the social needs in our city. For example, what if we were to take a daycare and to reserve spots within the daycare for single parent families, for refugee families, for those on the lower income in our city. And at the same time, what if we were to reserve some spots for Hope City families? Not just because Hope City families, need a spot at this daycare, but what if we were to support and encourage and pray for these families from Hope City as they're going to this daycare, as they're seeking to be missionaries within this setting that God has placed them in? There's so many good ideas, but what I want to invite you to join us to is not just to come up with the good ideas, but to be in prayer as we do this, because we hope to be transformed in the process. So I invite you to chart a new course with us as Hope City Church. I invite you to pray with us. I invite you to serve with us. And I invite you to do this all within community. I think the next 5-10 years are going to be incredibly exciting. Come join us.